You would be totally annoyed if you went to a luncheon and people were cutting in line for seconds when some folks hadn't had first. But we put up with this kind of behavior at our board meetings. Research has shown that 3 people do 70% of the talking at most meetings. Why would it matter at your board meetings if this is the case? For one, you're missing out on valuable voices who have opinions, ideas, and thoughts and perspectives that you're trying to gather in a collective group activity. Second of all, if you are a board member who isn't being heard, you have to wonder if you're in the right place. If there isn't some other place where you can invest your time and energies and resources where your voice will be heard and be part of the solution. So what can you do to make sure that a lot more people contribute a lot more at your board meetings? Number 1 is be invitational. Both you and the chair and other board members can say, oh, we haven't heard from everyone. Let's slow down a minute here and let's get some other voices on the table. You could say things like, hey, John, you've been quiet most of this meeting. What are your thoughts? Do you want to summarize for us? Any perspectives? What are we not seeing here? Can you help us? Anything that invites people who have not had a chance to make a voice, or as much as other people, to have more time. Second solution is what I call FHB. FHB is called a family holdback. If you've ever been in your family and your mom or your dad says to you, hey, FHB, that means if you're serving the food at this meal, make sure the guests have what they want before you start diving in for seconds. It's a kind of a family code that people use. I certainly had it in my household growing up and have used it since. And it's the same thing. You would invite people who are in the know, the executive council, the governance group, and saying, hey, we're not having as much participation. Let's FHB our voices and invite other people to come. The third option is to go ahead and create meeting monitors. This literally is a person who is tasked with looking at your process. Who is talking? Give them a list of the board members and have them make a tick mark after each one speaks. And if the person speaks more than a couple sentences, have them make another tick mark. Mid-meeting, ask this person to say, hey, Tom, would you go ahead and talk about who's talked, how many of us have talked, how many have not, and who should we start with in the next question? Because we want to make sure everyone has a voice here. So it's a tool that helps everyone begin to think about how much am I contributing by speaking and how much am I contributing by listening to what other people say and giving everyone a chance to get the ideas on the table so we have first-class quality discussions where everyone really is diving in and together we're figuring out what is the best pathway forward for this nonprofit. I'm Karen Eber-Davis, and by all means, subscribe to this channel. And even better, subscribe to my newsletter, CEO Solutions, for information about how to work with your board and other CEO challenges and opportunities directly to your inbox.